Yo, I do. I do have your essay. And I'm going to give it back to you in 5 seconds. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I'm a little slow. I'm a little slow. I'm sorry, Connor. Oh, no, no, no. You didn't miss it. I see what you mean. You have to leave early again. Busy guy. Your dad's in town? Oh, cool. You're dead? Oh, no. So it's not a good visit. It's a trouble visit? All right. Well, good luck. I hope you're still alive tomorrow. Okay, well, then hold on to it today. All right. Thank you for your honesty. Bonus points, my friend. And the essays from last week. Connor, you're on the top of the page there. There you go. Jerome's not here. Jue. There you go. Alrighty. Mark. There you go, Mark. Mm-hmm. Son. There you go. All right. So what we're doing today is we are working on introductions, okay? And so real quick, let's look at this page here. This page here, this handout that says introduction on it. Basically, introductions go from general to the thesis, and usually there's an explanation in between of the general statements, right? Most opening sentences say, most people, most people believe, ... However, others think that, ... Thus, I think, ... For many reasons. Okay? And that's the typical introduction, right? Very boring. You will put the grader to sleep, and it is not very exciting. It's okay, and you won't get marked down. But so many people give a general introduction that kind of means nothing. And so the grader reads it, and it doesn't stick out, and you're already in trouble with your paper. Now, what I like to do is point out that you have many ways to start an introduction. This is a great list here, but they're missing a couple, okay? They're especially missing, if you can add to that sheet, add F, analogy. I love analogies, and we'll talk about it in a moment. You can always add an analogy in. And then also G, a concession is also a great way to start a paper. And we'll talk about that in a moment too. If you look over here, I've given you some examples of spicy introductions, right? Ways to make your introductions better. The quote, if you see there, it's C on the other page. Use a quotation. Connor, who can you quote? Anybody? Yes, you can. Very good, right? You can quote anyone. You can quote Mom. You can quote Einstein. Anybody you want. But quote somebody. It's an interesting way of starting your paper. Look at my example there. This question is, which do you prefer? Friends who are similar or friends who are different, right? That's a classic ETS one. My mom always said, variety is the spice of life. It's true. My mom did. Friends who differ can guide us to new enriching experiences. Therefore, it is imperative that we befriend people of sundry interests for many reasons. You see there, I give you 3 sentences. I give you a quote. I explain the quote, and then I give the thesis. what the main point is of my whole paper. 3 sentences. Check this out. This page here, I took these 3 examples from people in our class. Well, I'll take one each of those papers, okay? So I took these from people in our class. It's anonymous. Don't say, that's me, okay? Don't say it. But this is anonymous here. Look at the first one. We have a quote, okay? And Jerome, take one each from those, okay? So the quote there, one of the famous adages. Ooh, great word, meaning that's a saying, something that people say all the time. The saying that, think several times before you talk. Isn't that great? Let's give a little applause, first of all. Okay? This is a student in here. Okay, it's anonymous. Make them one each. But they give a quote. Think several times before you talk. As it says, it is really important to think before you speak out, especially when we have a high temper. And that's a great explanation of that quote. Then this person goes on for a couple more sentences. That's okay. You're not going to TOEFL jail. But remember, everybody, try to keep your introduction a little on the shorter side so that you have more time to work on your body paragraphs. Today, I want 3 sentences because we're going to write some introductions. I just want 3 sentences today, okay? I want you to practice the short form because too often people write a huge introduction and it gets out of control. And what's funny is when you have a paper where the introduction, not these examples, but if the introduction is really long, then maybe you have 1 or 2 paragraphs in the body, and then, oh, time's up. And this does not look like a good paper, right? Because the introduction is just way out of control. So what we want is some balance. Are we okay? Are you okay? Okay. So that's a quote, all right? Move on to the next one. I call it snapshot. On the other page, they call it B, anecdote. It can also even combine B and E, facts and statistics, okay? These are flexible. They're flexible. But look at the snapshot. A snapshot's just a quick moment from your life or from a movie, from a book, anything like that, to make your paper interesting in your introduction. As seen in the recent movie, The Social Network, it can be difficult for someone like the founder of Facebook to make friends, let alone friends with similar tastes. If one can find, and now here I explain my general idea. If one can find companionship with others who are like-minded, then one is very lucky. I think, here's the thesis, I think it is safe to say that it is enough of a struggle to find friends similar to ourselves. Okay? And so there I have a snapshot, a piece from a movie, what it's about. I explain it, and then I give a thesis. Yesterday in my afternoon class, somebody said, Peter, I haven't seen a movie in 2 years. Okay. You don't have to mention a movie. I think that's sad, personally. I love movies. But, you don't have to mention a movie. It can be a book, and it can also be a moment from your life, anything like that. Look at these examples from students in here, anonymous. Look at the last one, okay? Clau, you need 1 paper from each pile. So the bottom one there. Have you ever fancied an actor or someone famous? I love the beginning here. And by the way, this person is doing D on this sheet using a question and giving us a snapshot. I wanted to be him and act like him, so I listened to him in interviews or public speeches. However, it happened when I was 13 years old. I love this, right? I was a kid when I did this, and so, it's an immature thing to do. Now I have grown up enough to keep my autonomy, vocabulary word from last week. Awesome, bonus points, my friend. There are many people listening to famous people, acting like them, talking like them. When we hear them, we should not follow their opinions without measuring reality. Sometimes it causes tragedies. Now, this is a great snapshot from the person's life. It's a little long for a TOEFL introduction. We might want to clean it up a little bit and make it a little shorter, in maybe 4 sentences, okay? But try to shorten that one up. But you see there, this person is doing a great job. We have a snapshot and a question. Everybody, you can mix and match these as well into one introduction, okay? So it's all flexible. All right, next one. on my other sheet there. It says analogy. Now, not enough people do an analogy. Rachel, did you get one? You get one paper from each pile? Right there. Thanks. Gentlemen. Thank you, gentlemen. Analogy is a great tool. Practice it, and if it becomes easy to you, use it, because very few other people do. Here's my example. Friends with different tastes are like kaleidoscopes. Kaleidoscope is that thing that you used to look through when you were a kid, and it has all the different colors and designs, and you change the view, and it changes the image. Wonderful. One of my favorite toys as a kid. Friends with different tastes are like kaleidoscopes. So what you do is you compare something abstract, or something maybe like love or life or whatever it is, and you compare it to something physical. And then all you have to do is explain your analogy. Friends with different tastes are like kaleidoscopes. By adjusting the angle, new and amazing visions become apparent. Thus, we will never cease to be engaged by friends who introduce us to their eccentricities, meaning their different interests. Analogy. If that sounds tough, just think Forrest Gump. Life is like a box of chocolates. It's the same thing, okay? And you just explain the analogy and then come up with your thesis. All right, the last one here is media. And on your other page, it's E, present facts and statistics, okay? And this just means, think of what you've read or that you've heard in the news, anything. Everybody, here's what we're fighting against. If you mention too much about your personal life, Koi, one from each, okay? One from each. If you mention too much about your personal life, then your paper is going to be a lot like everyone else's, because they don't really think about it before they take the test, right? And if you think about some other things that you can reference to the outside world, if it's books, movies, news, whatever, your paper is going to be so much better, so much richer, okay? And we see here my example, an endless number of publications, including the New York Times. I love the New York Times. That's what I read. Not the LA Times. Don't read the LA Times. Ugh. New York Times, much better. Better vocabulary. Have focused on the dangers of groupthink. Friends with similar tastes can mislead us to think our way of life is superior to others. Cautiously, we must take care if we only spend time with others like us, and remember the benefits of befriending people who differ from us. Okay? So there I'm mentioning things that I've read. And check this one out. I love this one from an anonymous student, okay, in this class, in the middle. This one, I call it media, okay? They're taking a fact from the world and starting their paper with it. And it happens to be one of my favorite facts there. The moment that I remember was during the 20th century when the wall of Berlin is fallen. In my view, this moment has been very important for Germans and for the world. There are 3 reasons for that: liberty, economy, and don't worry about tantamount. It's a vocabulary word. The word might have been equality there. Okay. Anyways, wonderful way to start a paper, right? Mentioning a world event. So think about that. Okay, what I'd like you to do today, I want you to give me, concession. I don't have an example here, and we're going to talk about concession next week. Concession is when you're in a debate and you say, yes, you are right, but I disagree. Okay, and this is a very effective way of arguing a point if there are 2 sides to a debate. We're going to talk about that next week, and we're going to practice it. But today, I want you to give me introductions. I want you to give me a quote on a piece of paper, then come up to me, and I will check it. And then I want you to move on to the next one. Don't write them all at once. Snapshot. I want you to give me a snapshot. You have 2 examples of that. And I want you to give me an analogy. And then I want you to give me something from the media, okay? If you're having trouble, you can come up and ask me. You're also free to talk to your neighbors, but don't use a dictionary, Rachel. You can ask your neighbors, though. Let's turn to page 419. 419. And you'll see there we have our question. And there's a sample essay there that you can read. I don't think it's very exciting.